Welcome back to Casual Camping and Outdoors. Today, John and I are going to be doing a review. It'll be our first knife review. So let's take a look. This is the Condor Mini Duku. This is a large, beefy knife at 16.75 inches overall with a 10-inch blade. They have two versions. This one is the 1075 high carbon steel version. There's also a stainless steel version. If you're interested in this knife, we'll have links in the video description. In our knife reviews, John and I are going to be covering 4 points: price, factory edge, sheath, and performance. Let's take a look. As we said, this is a beefy knife. Let's take a look first at the price point. Right now on Amazon, the stainless version is running about $85 at the time of this video. You can have the high carbon steel version for a little bit less. Our second point is the factory edge. This factory edge, at least at my fingers, feels very sharp, and we're going to do what Brian Stevens over on Survival on Purpose calls the redneck sharp test. We're going to see if this thing will shave some arm hair. Let's take a look. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it shaves arm hair just fine. Now, Condor is very well known for their well-made sheaths. This comes standard with a very high quality, very nice, thick leather sheath. I have not yet seen this with a Kydex option, although Condor does make some Kydex sheaths for their other products. I'm very happy with this particular sheath. Let's see how it performs. Okay, we've got here just some wood that we had laying in the backyard. It's a relatively solid wood. Let's see how she chops. It bites into that wood very nicely. My chopping skill notwithstanding, there you go. Let's take a look at some batoning here. So we'll take one of the pieces of wood that we just cut, put our baton in place, no problem. And just using what we have available, we're going to try to split up this old piece of 2x4. Now there's a screw right there, so we're going to try and avoid that screw, but no problem. So splitting is no big deal for the Condor Mini Duku. Now this old stump we've got here is actually made out of fat wood, so let's chop us off a piece and see if we can strike a ferro rod. And once you get down into the wood a little bit, you can see the monstrous chips flying off. You can see that kind of a bacony color, showing that this is mostly fat wood.
One of the pieces just hit me, but okay.
So now we got little chips of fat wood laying everywhere. Let's see if it will strike a ferro rod. Let's see if we can carve off a few pieces of the stump. We've already got a couple pieces. Nice fat wood. Let's see if we can...
My shadow.
See if that blade is stout enough to pry. Well, the blade is stout enough.
I can smell it.
You can smell that fat wood. Doesn't it smell good?
Yeah, it's strong.
Look at that nice fat wood.
Smell it. Gosh.
See if we can beaver chew shoot through it this way. That right there would start a dozen fires. Well, we've gunked it up pretty good, but the tip isn't broke. Ouch. And that edge is still sharp. Okay, so we got us a couple little chips of this fat wood, and we're going to see if we can scrape up a little bit and get us a fire. If you remember on one of our previous videos, we showed you about lighting fire with fat wood. So we're just going to take some scrapings just from this little chip. You don't need much. Cut. Now this spine doesn't feel super sharp to me. I don't think that's going to be real conducive, but we got a fire steel, so let's see if we can make a spark. If you use this part below the unsharpened blade, that seems to work a little bit better, at least on mine. You don't want to use the actual blade itself because you don't want to damage your blade. Let's see if we can get our fat wood to ignite here. Almost. Let's see if we can scrape our fat wood down to a little bit finer. Okay, we chopped up our fat wood into a little bit finer pieces. Let's see if we can get this to ignite. Here we go. Cut. You can see we've kind of gunked up our blade a little bit. We've discolored it from striking on the ferro rod, but let's see if it's still shaving sharp. And look at there. Let's try other parts of the blade as well. And I don't know if you can see it.
I can see it on the camera, so yeah, just flew over there.
So, final thoughts about the Condor Mini Duku. I really like it. It's big enough to do some chopping tasks. The blade comes hair shaving sharp from the factory. I like the 1075 steel. I'd like to see it come out in the 1095 steel, and I can't compare it to the stainless because I don't have the stainless version. I only have the high carbon steel, which is my preferred version anyway. But it's a good big blade.
The weight is good for John.
And the weight is good for John. John was able to do some chopping with it as well, no problem. So again, if you're interested in the Condor Mini Duku, link is down in the description. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.